Life, liberty with a musky beard, preaching loud for all to hear. Self-sustained, don't live in fear. He ain't buying what they steer. Self-righteous here to tell the world's gone straight to, well, got no love for ATS, says liberals, they're a mess. Life, liberty, he's so proud, living off the grid, not with the crowd. Shaking fists at big city's mess. His ways the only, nothing less. Solar panels on the roof. Solar panels on the roof. No one tells him what's the truth. Buys his goods from local folks. Hates the government's side pokes. Plants the seeds the garden grows. Hates the talk of those he opposes. Got his place, his peace of mind. Voices loud, the blind lead the blind. Life, liberty, he's so clear. He's the echo we all hear. Takes a stand, won't bow down. Got his kingdom, where's the crown? Voices loud, the blind lead the blind. Life, liberty, he's so clear. He's the echo we all hear. Takes a stand, won't bow down. Got his kingdom, where's the crown? Life, liberty, he's so clear. He's the echo we all hear. Takes a stand, won't bow down. Got his kingdom, where's the crown? Where's the crown? Life, liberty with a musky beard, preaching loud for all to hear. Self-sustained, don't live in fear. He ain't buying what they steer. Life, liberty with a musky beard, preaching loud for all to hear. Self-sustained, don't live in fear. He ain't buying what they steer. Self-righteous here to tell the world's gone straight to, well, got no love for ATS, says liberals, they're a mess. Life, liberty, he's so proud, living off the grid, not with the crowd. Shaking fists at big city's mess. His ways the only, nothing less. Solar panels on the roof. Solar panels on the roof. No one tells him what's the truth. Buys his goods from local folks. Hates the government's side pokes. Plants the seeds the garden grows. Hates the talk of those he opposes. Got his place, his peace of mind. Voices loud, the blind lead the blind. Life, liberty, he's so clear. He's the echo we all hear. Takes a stand, won't bow down. Got his kingdom, where's the crown? Voices loud, the blind lead the blind. LifeLiberty, he's so clear. He's the echo we all hear. Takes a stand, won't bow down. God his kingdom, where's the crown? LifeLiberty, he's so clear. He's the echo we all hear. Takes a stand, won't bow down. God his kingdom, where's the crown? Where's the crown? LifeLiberty with a musty beard, preaching loud for all to hear. Self-sustained, don't live in fear. He ain't buying what they steer. LifeLiberty with a musty beard, preaching loud for all to hear. Self-sustained, don't live in fear. He ain't buying what they steer. Self-righteous here to tell the world's gone straight to, well, got no love for ATS, says liberals, they're a mess. LifeLiberty, he's so proud, living off the grid, not with the crowd, shaking fists at big city's mess. His way's the only, nothing less. Solar panels on the roof, solar panels on the roof. No one tells him what's the truth. Buys his goods from local folks, hates the government's side pokes. Plants the seeds, the garden grows. Hates the talk of those he opposes. God his praise, his peace of mind. Voices loud, the blind lead the blind. LifeLiberty, he's so clear. He's the echo we all hear. Takes a stand, won't bow down. God his kingdom, where's the crown? The garden grows, hates the talk of those he opposes. God his grace, his peace of mind. Voices loud, the blind lead the blind. LifeLiberty, he's so clear. He's the echo we all hear. Takes a stand, won't bow down. God his kingdom, where's the crown? LifeLiberty, he's so clear. He's the echo we all hear. Takes a stand, won't bow down. God his kingdom, where's the crown? Where's the crown? LifeLiberty with a musty beard, preaching loud for all to hear. Self-sustained, don't live in fear. He ain't buying what they steer. LifeLiberty with a musty beard, preaching loud for all to hear. Self-sustained, don't live in fear. He ain't buying what they steer. Self-righteous here to tell the world's gone straight to, well, got no love for ATS, says liberals, they're a mess. LifeLiberty, he's so proud, living off the grid, not with the crowd, shaking fists in big cities.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis?
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Will?
The New York Jets.
No, I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world? Why is America
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
You're saying...
Yes.
Let's talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of our paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always?
Hey.
And with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed by great men, men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore.
Welcome to the LifeLiberty Show. Today, we are going to be covering a video that our guest had found. First thing he saw on TikTok this morning whenever he opened up the app. And he actually did a show on it this morning. And he brought it to me. And now we're going to talk about it because I think it's pretty important. And it goes pretty hand in hand with what I talk about. And it covers a lot of what he talks about. And you guys may recognize his voice. He was on a phone call with me once before. So here we have Desert Rat Dad. And be sure to check out his podcast as well. Here he is. How's it going, buddy?
No, it's going. Thank you for having me, Life.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, so as I said, you saw this video first thing when you opened up TikTok this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it when I first opened TikTok this morning. I saw it. Now I was so infuriated by the aspect of what was going on in the video that I literally switched my whole podcast idea today to cover this video.
Yeah, and your podcast is more fathers' rights in the legal system and things like that.
Yes, it's fathers' rights, fathers' empowerment, legal system, how to navigate it and stuff like that. I'm a single dad of 5. I have fought CPS I don't know how many times. I fought my divorce, got full custody, full legal and sole custody of my kids. For those of you fathers out there that are fighting it, just remember, don't give up.
Absolutely.
I mean, laws are starting to change finally. And this video right here, the reason why I instantly got a hold of you after I did the podcast, I was like, look, this actually kind of goes into par with what you're saying. And for those of you guys that are not following the Life Liberty Show, do me a favor, get over there and follow them. If you're just coming in, whatever. I know I've shared this link out to a bunch of people, so give them a follow. Amazing person.
I appreciate that. Yeah, so this video, video does go in and tie into both things in a kind of roundabout way. It's about 3 minutes long. So we'll play it and we'll probably pause it along the way.
It's actually sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
It's actually really funny because I was actually listening to your intro and everything like that. And I'm sitting here thinking about this video and listening to your intro, and I'm like, holy cow, his intro lines up exactly with what these people are trying to do in this video. And it's funny because, well, I'll let you get to it.
Hey, and by the way, if you guys haven't seen that show, it's called The Newsroom. It is a TV series. I believe it's on HBO. It is absolutely fantastic. Go check it out. And that's what the intro comes from. But we're going to go ahead and start playing this. And we'll stop it along the way and talk about some of the things that we hear.
I would like to apologize ahead of time. My kids are home. They are loud. I will try to keep them quiet.
Hey, kids, right? But if we go longer than 30 minutes, we go longer than 30 minutes. This is kind of crazy, and it encompasses a lot of things about what I talk about and what he talks about. So without further ado, I'm going to start the video.
Do you guys think this is normal for them to bring politics into school? And if they vote for, I live in California, by the way, but if you vote for Kamala Harris, then you're going to get a pizza party. But if you vote for Donald J. Trump, apparently you are excluded.
They said that my teacher was screaming at us saying the other class was voting Trump. So they don't get to use the paper patches, not the school supplies for the girls. They don't get to use the computers, the chargers, or the, what's it called, the scrunchies, the deodorant, or stuff like that.
Okay, so you guys don't get to use this stuff. It's okay. And then what was it?
So if you guys didn't hear that, basically what it's sounding like so far is they're doing a mock ballot. And if they vote for Harris, then they get to use the school supplies. If they vote for Trump, then they don't get to use the school supplies.
Now, one thing that I wanted to bring up that I just realized is this is a little girl that she is talking to, her daughter. So she's saying the girls can't use the school supplies as well. That means if they are on their monthly, they're not allowed to use the stuff if they forget it at home.
Right.
So, I mean, where that struck me very bad is this is a health hazard now.
Like, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Kids are forgetful. We can only plan so much. We try to be prepared. We try to teach our kids to have everything that they need. But if they're in the public school system and they offer feminine products and say they got in a hurry and they forgot, now they vote for Trump in this mock trial, they're not allowed to use. Now, hang on. Before we go too far, I think this is just one teacher. I believe this is just one teacher, so it's not the whole school. So they should still be able to go to the nurse's office and get the supplies that they need. But nonetheless, as we get in a little further, let's go ahead and listen to what's going on. Here we go.
About the pizza party.
That we don't get the pizza party because only the kids that only our class that voted Kamal get to eat the pizza party, but some of the kids didn't vote for Kamal, they voted for Trump.
I'm sorry, does anybody realize that she says Kamal, which tells me she doesn't know anything about politics? She's not paying any attention to what their name is because it's fucking Kamala. So now they're being forced to make this decision between two people that they have no idea what their political ideology is. They are just making a vote based on the amenities that they will receive.
Well, here's the other thing. This is what I think she said 5th grade, and then she said 5th period. So either way, this is, a grade school kid that my kids in 5th grade, they had periods. They had different periods they had to go to. But either way, I didn't start getting into politics till I was in my 20s, right?
Right.
So why are we expecting children to be worrying about adult things?
Is that better, Ricochet? Go ahead.
It does. Tell me if that makes sense. We are expecting children to understand the politics of adults. You might as well just hand them a rock. You might as well just put them in one of Elon Musk's SpaceX factories and have them start building rockets and expect them not to hurt themselves.
Absolutely. This is so crazy in indoctrination that you just got to listen further.
It's bluntly fucking grotesque.
It's crazy.
I'm trying to censor myself. It's really hard.
Don't worry about censoring. That's not what we do here. We say what we say. If we get fucking kicked, then we get kicked.
Look, I'm planning on getting canceled over this video. Yeah, another thing, guys, once you're done watching this video, do me a favor. You guys can share it out, because the only way that we're going to get justice for this little girl or her classmates is by spreading it out, because we all know the media is not going to cover this. We know that. Until we make a big fuss about it, the media is not going to cover this. This is why I covered it this morning. I'm pretty sure this is why Life's ready to cover it too.
That's exactly why I'm covering it. All right, so let's go a little further. Let's continue listening.
What's going to happen to them?
They're not going to be included. Only the kids that voted for Kamal.
Hello.
So I had a couple questions for you. So I heard that Giselle was telling me that you had mentioned that the kids that are not going to attend the pizza party are the kids who voted other than Kamala.
Wait, say it again?
That you had told the class that whoever votes for Kamala will get a pizza party, but those that don't will not be included in the pizza party.
For Harris?
Yeah.
What period is your daughter in?
And then this teacher acts like the parent is dumb by saying Harris. Well, what other fucking Kamala is there? Like, is that a super common name?
So I took it as the teacher was basically admitting to guilt that, yes, of course, if they don't vote for Harris, they ain't getting no pizza.
It's trying to do the plausible deniability, but the parent does a really good job speaking to this teacher. Just let's continue listening.
I'm not sure.
So I believe only one period, period 5, had a majority for Harris.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and to follow that same spirit, because the Democrats are more for feeding the
Pause it
hungry,
real quick. I gotta say
free
this.
medical care, feed more services.
Notice that the teacher just told her that he wanted the children to follow the same spirit as what they voted for.
Yep.
Okay. So a little further on, let that sink in what this teacher just said, and you'll understand where we're going to come from on this end.
Just pay high taxes. That I'll be willing to buy pizza for the class.
All right, I'm going to back that up a little bit.
The Democrats are more for feeding the hungry, free medical care, feed more services. Just pay high taxes. That I'll be willing to buy pizza for the class.
Okay.
So basically saying, hey, we're looking at this as the Democrats want handouts. They want to take care of everybody. And if you want those things too, then this is how you should vote.
And on top
you
of
should
that,
vote Democrat.
On top of that, don't forget you have to pay higher taxes so the needy can get what they need.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that the teacher absolutely tried to skim over that.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
You are willing to buy pizza for the class for those who win with Harris, right?
For those that voted for Harris?
Yeah.
Is she in period 5? If she's not in period 5, we're just doing a regular day.
Oh, okay. So
she's in period 5, it's the entire class.
Giselle, what period are you with this teacher? 5. So she is in period 5.
Okay. So I'm going to try for tomorrow for pizza, if not Friday.
So the other class...
Right. So what she just said was if you're in period 5, then it's just going to be a normal day. And then she said, oh, yeah, I'm period 5. And then she goes, yeah, I'm going to try for Friday, if not Friday.
What the teacher just said was that all the rest of the classes but period 5 will have a normal day. Period 5 will be the one to have a pizza party.
Yeah,
and
but she skimmed over it by saying, yeah, I'm going to try for tomorrow, maybe Friday, to get the class.
As if no one would even realize. Well, yeah. Listen, if you're gonna pull this shit with parents, and I'm just gonna fucking blatantly say, if you're gonna pull this stupid ass, grotesque shit with parents, especially when everyone has phones nowadays, be a little smarter with it. But this guy's just straight up blatant. I mean, it's straight up blatant disrespect for our election system.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, there's about another minute, guys. Let's listen to it.
This is because they did not vote for Harris. They're not going to get pizza.
Yeah. Well, they can. They just do what the conservatives do, which pay for yourself.
Oh.
Wait. Isn't this what we've fucking said the whole time? Conservatives, learn to take care of your fucking self. Get out there, grow your own food, and don't worry about what other people are fucking doing.
Well, here's the other thing, okay? It's funny that they bring this up because Republicans and conservatives are, I guarantee they are more likely to donate to charity than any other
political party.
Yeah. I mean, Donald Trump. Let's take Donald Trump, for example, okay? He didn't even take a paycheck. It all went to charities.
Wait, hang on. Constitutionally, he's required to take the check. It has to go into his bank account.
And then go to charities.
And then he can donate it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so let's continue with the video.
That's fine. Can I take some pizza for those other classes?
For those other classes? What do you mean?
The ones that voted for Trump.
The teacher wants to say no right now. And Ricochet, I absolutely agree with you. If you guys didn't catch that, bet that teacher grades on a curve. And those of you that don't know what a curve is, what they do is they'll get their grades, and then whatever the highest grade was will then become 100, and then they'll change all of the other grades up to basically say, oh, well, this is what my kids can do. It's a curve.
Yeah. So most kids that are on special education are actually graded on that curve. They're graded on a curve based on their knowledge on what they can comprehend versus what they actually learned.
Correct.
So, which I do agree with that. I will say that I do agree with that in special cases, such as special ed. You're not going to get, there's a reason it's there.
Correct.
But I just want to say this. If it were me and my kid was coming to me telling me this stuff about this teacher and the school, I wouldn't be calling someone. I'm sorry, but I would be down at that school throwing the biggest fit. And I mean, I'll be a Karen. I don't give a shit. I want to talk to your manager.
I'm pretty sure the schools in Missouri, because both myself and Desert are in the state of Missouri.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they made sure that there's locked doors and glass and everything so that we can't get into the actual school.
Yep.
Because they know that there's people like us that would just kick the fucking door in and be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Let's see. Last year, I went straight into school after I found out. So my daughter, there was a student that wouldn't quit touching my daughter. I went straight into the school, went straight to the superintendent's office. Basically, he was in charge of all 3 school districts.
Yeah.
Or all 3 schools in the district.
Yeah,
went straight into his office, and I went nuts. Like, they called the cops, everything. My brother was there. It was, yeah, it was bad.
We can get into that story another time, but my wife had a run-in with our superintendent as well. He balled his fist up at her. Oh, yeah, he's lucky I wasn't there.
I was going to say, is he still breathing?
Yeah, he's lucky I wasn't there. All right, so we got just about 35 seconds left. Let's go ahead and listen to the rest of it.
You can.
I'm going to be honest with you. I am a little bit upset. I'm extremely upset because if this was the other way around and I were to go to people's houses and I'm like, hey, do you want a bag of food? Who did you vote for? Like, this is not Cuba. Like that's not okay to do. Like,
I don't think Cuba, they have the right to vote, though.
Exactly.
Bullshit.
So, if there's a right to vote in this country, we should be able to vote for whoever we want with no prices in return.
Yeah, I agree.
I love how he tries to use the fact that, well, Cuba doesn't have the right to vote. It doesn't matter if Cuba has the right to vote or not. Cuba is also a communist country. Okay.
Right.
So secondly, we are in the United States of fucking America. Okay. This is America where we have the right to vote freely.
So guys, if y'all didn't notice, you're good, Reddit. If you guys didn't notice, it said prices. They're in California, so there's a little bit of a dialect, right? What she said was prizes.
Yeah.
You get to vote without a prize. And exactly what they were doing is saying manipulation, indoctrination, using fear tactics to get them to vote a certain way and then fall into a certain narrative. And our school systems have been doing this for a really long fucking time. And now it's blatantly out there. They are fucking doing it right in the fucking open.
Yep.
Right in the fucking open.
Another question that I had on this was, because we all know that, they do the polls and everything before the actual election. They're polling groups of people. I'm kind of wondering if those groups of people aren't our kids.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, think about it. Have you ever been notified to say, hey, you want to come take a survey about who you're going to vote for? I ain't never been notified.
I've never had a survey.
Never once have I been surveyed, but somehow they know how many people are going to vote.
Uh-huh.
You see what I'm saying?
I get it. I've had that same question.
Only time I've ever... Go ahead.
Rat, I do know whenever I ran for office, that was an option that I could pay to send out ballots or phone calls or text messages or whatever. And then you get people, they decide if they're going to vote, if they're going to participate. Of course, I'm a son of a bitch that says delete.
Yeah.
So maybe I have received them and I just choose not to participate because it's none of their fucking business how I'm going to vote. Now,
I want you to realize what you just said, though. Most of us adults are way too busy working a job to actually participate in something like that.
Yep.
Okay.
So who isn't our schools, our students?
Exactly.
And you know, you say schools, I say this about colleges as well.
Oh, yeah.
You know, as you go from elementary, middle school, high school, and then into college. And the reason the military chooses to get you in right after high school is because you're still influenceable.
Yep.
You're still able to have your mind altered and trained to be a certain way. So whenever you get into college, my wife is in school right now working on her doctorate in psychology. And the teacher there actually, they told her to write an opinion essay, an essay based on opinion, and it had to be in this format, blah, 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 right? Well, they gave her, like, the teacher graded her paper at a 30% based on her opinion.
Yeah, like how do you get an F on an opinion? That's my question.
Yeah, you can't. But what they're doing is they're forcing the students, right? Oh my gosh, I got a 30% or a 40% on this paper. What do I need to do to not do that again? Oh, now I need to start writing the way that this teacher wants me to write. So when you do the same thing over and over and over and over again, eventually at that young age, you get indoctrinated into the ideology that they are trying to push and the narrative that they are trying to push. And we need to fucking combat that. That's why I talk with my kids constantly. I fucking argue with my kids all the time. But
y'all hear it.
That, I mean, you really think that the way I am here is any different than what I am at home? My kids know my political opinion. They know where I fucking stand. And guess what?
But it's
go ahead.
It's our job as parents. Our job as parents, and I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever you call yourself. I don't care if you call yourself a unicorn and you ride around on a broomstick. If that's what you want your child doing, that's fine. It's your job to teach and influence your child. It is not our school's job to indoctrinate our children. Our school should never be influencing our children on their religion, their political views, or anything else of that matter. All they should be doing is teaching reading, writing, arithmetic, and learning to be creative. Something they don't do anymore. They don't let kids be creative. Sorry.
So, no, you're okay. This is one of the reasons I fight so hard for sustainability. And we talk about homeschooling. I push for homeschool. My kids are homeschooled, and we push for that so hard because the system is altering the way our kids believe, and they are teaching them to be right in the system. If you look at a fucking school and you take video and put it right next to a prison, they are the exact same fucking thing. We are prisoners to the system one way or another. And if you don't want to be a
schools for?
Well, it was all about indoctrination so that we can create a populace of workers, not a populace of thinkers.
Exactly.
So, but if you want to be, or if you want to pull away and you don't believe that the government is there for you, then you need to have something so that you can protect yourself. And where you're going to receive that is warhorseordnance.com. They have the best tactical gear on the market. None of that 511 Chinese bullshit. They are an American-made, veteran-owned tactical company. What they also have some fantastic merchandise, as in hoodies, ball caps, shirts. They have medical gear. They have IFACs. They will also get you in touch with some of the best trained tacticians in America. And that is warhorseordnance.com. Listen, we're succeeding at going beyond 30 minutes.
Oh yeah.
But
and yes, I took my Vietnamese 511 hat off because my bad, Warhorse, my bad. It's the only hat I had on at the time.
We'll get them all, Seth. We'll get them all.
Look, Seth. I'm gonna say this: if you make a nice hat that has a Velcro American flag on it, I will gladly burn this live, so you can watch. I will burn an $80 hat just for you.
An $80?
Yep.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's made in Vietnam.
It was $60 just for the hat. Okay, I'm gonna say this. This was $60. You can't see it because
move it in front of you.
It was $60 just for this hat. This patch was another $10 or $15.
Look right there. It was made in Vietnam, so it probably cost them $4 to make it because they buy in bulk, and then they sold it for $60. Yes, I understand how businesses work, but it was made in Vietnam, not made right here in America. Now, to get back to what we were talking about, the indoctrination of our youth, and we have to remember that our children are our future. And if we allow the government or the school systems to indoctrinate our children and we just step back and we allow it to happen, then they are going to breed liberals and followers. We need to have fucking critical thinkers. Everybody listening needs to be a fucking critical thinker. Allow somebody to challenge your fucking thought.
So so my kids are all allowed to play video games. Sure. I never once told them they couldn't play video games unless they were in trouble, right? The main reason for that is because, one, video games have been proven to help with hand-eye coordination and also helps with decision making. Okay, I mean, there's a whole study about how video games help, especially children with ADHD. So the other thing is I went and, if I can find it, oh, there it is. I went out and I bought this. This is a graphics tablet, okay? Allows you to do 3D art and everything like that. My daughter uses this to draw her fashion designs and her anime characters. I mean, one of the things that I'm very big about is allow your kids to be themselves, okay? My kids occasionally,
within reason.
Yeah, within reason. They'll cuss. But once they get disrespectful with it, that's when I draw a line, which I know you heard me earlier, Life. Like I had my son sitting here when me and Life were talking before the show. My son's sitting right here because he was being too loud, and I told him, I'm in a meeting, you need to keep it down. I had him come in here, and it was very respectful. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Mm-hmm. And then he tried to do a joke.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. And then I did the knock knock joke. James, if you're listening, that was an homage to you. And then he went and told his siblings the same damn joke.
Yeah. I was like, great. And that was my daughter that wound up doing that. But
it was your daughter. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she went. The second the joke was told, she ran out of the room, went straight in there and told her brothers and sisters, like, well, I'm going to get 5 phone calls from kids saying that joke.
But that's the point, right? We have the choice to indoctrinate and raise our kids the way we want. And we are allowing the government to fear us into doing it their way. And the schools are starting it because they're telling them that if they don't get what they want, they call CPS. And that is a fucking fear tactic. And as 2 vets over here said, schools are a business and it's a money ploy.
That's a fact.
Absolutely correct. So when my kids went to homeschooling, they lost $2,500 a day for that child not being in school.
Per child. Yeah, I was going to say per child.
Per child.
Yep. So
everything that they do is about money.
So one of the things that schools like to use against us, and I'm going to say this, is CPS, okay? One of the biggest problems I have with CPS is, say they come to your house, they want to see your kids, okay? You say no. Can't do that. They call the cops. That's intimidation. Okay, they're not allowed to do that either. But most officers do not actually know the law enough to know that they legally have no right to see those kids without a court order. They legally can't get a court order based, and I'm going to say this right now, you cannot get a court order based on hearsay. It has to be undeniable proof, and a person has to be held accountable because you have a right to face your accuser in a court of law. CPS is not technically the accuser. They are the investigator. So therefore, most CPS cases are actually null and void. The problem is we've allowed CPS, once again, to have so much control over everything because people are afraid to spank their kids because, oh, CPS will come in. Here's the problem. Now that we've allowed them that control, now they're taking the control into the schools and indoctrinating our kids. That's what led up to this point.
Guys, and those of you that are listening that don't know Desert Rat, if you remember the last time he was on a phone call with me, he tried going into the same thing, and I was like, we're not talking about that right now. So he's very much into father's rights and how the system is designed to take us down so that they can be in control of our kids. And his podcast is Desert Rat Dad. Go ahead and give him a follow. Go search him. He's on Rumble if you're on Rumble. Do you have a YouTube page as well, Rat?
Yeah, it's not up yet, though. I will be getting it up soon.
Okay, so those of you on YouTube, keep an eye out. Pay attention for Desert Rat Dad. Hey, Desert Rat, I really appreciate you coming. Everybody, oh, wait, hang on. We got one more thing here. If we're truly free, why do we have taxes, registration, etc., that the government can step in? Okay, so that goes back to the fear tactic. We have the right to travel freely, and if you get into Black's Law and definitions and blah, 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 right? We can't travel in a vehicle or an automobile without registration, and we can't do that because of the fear, right? Everything that is pushed on us is a fear tactic. It is a threat of violence. And if you think that you being arrested isn't violence, that is, if I was to walk up to Desert Rat and grab him by the arm or just touch him on the shoulder, he can fucking charge me with assault. And assault is a violent misdemeanor. So a cop grabbing a hold of you and putting you in handcuffs is violence.
It's technically considered kidnapping. In a sense.
Yeah, abduction.
Abduction. That's the word I was looking for. I was trying to
abduction.
figure out the word. Yeah.
Yeah. But everybody, I appreciate y'all coming in. Check out Desert Rat. He'll be coming to YouTube soon. Fucking buy local, buy American, and fuck the ATF. Nobody special.
Drag them in, and they'll follow you until the day you die. Tell myself I've done this before. It's hard to get a handle on you walking out the door. So just take another message